Good evening. Welcome. My name is Danielle, and I want to thank you for joining me for this live stream Comeback Yoga class. Comeback Yoga is an organization I'm really proud to be a part of. It serves as a nonprofit to meet veterans where they're at. And so that means bringing classes to you at home. This is going to be a level 2 class, and the difference between a level 1 and a level 2 class for me is simply language. Okay, there's no difference in the intensity, but the language, the instruction might be a little different. I might use more instruction in a level 1 class and less instruction in a level 2 class, and that's really the only difference. We're going to be working on balance tonight, specifically learning how to stand on one leg and feeling secure there. So that's always fun. I love teaching balance classes. They're my favorite classes to teach. If you've ever taken a class with me before, you know that I'm almost always going to cue 2 yoga blocks and a yoga strap. And if you don't have those things handy, you can use things from your household instead. You could use throw pillows from your couch or even bed pillows when we're using the yoga blocks to pad the joints. Or you could even use books underneath your hands if we're using the blocks to bring the floor closer to you, just to add some height. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a necktie, a belt, even a beach towel could work. And while this level 2 class might be similar to other yoga classes you've taken or experienced, comeback yoga classes are specialized to support the military community. And within that community, there's people that have experienced a lot of post-traumatic stress. So the difference in a trauma-informed yoga, again, language and specific tools. So before we even get going, I just want you to take a moment to get oriented. So notice your environment and notice where the exit to your space is. And then figure out if there's something that you can do right now to make either yourself or your space 10% more comfortable. Maybe that means instead of facing away from your exit or turning your back to the exit, you're going to face the exit. Or if you have a phone handy, you can keep it nearby, just place it face down so it doesn't distract you as we begin to practice and do the yoga class. So that's pretty much it. We'll get going from here since we've now oriented our space and stuff. And we're going to start lying down. But I want you to take your 2 yoga blocks or whatever props that you've chosen to use in lieu of those blocks, kind of almost to the middle of the mat where the knees are going to be. And then you're going to come to lie down on your back. And then from there, you want to get as comfortable as you can in this position. So for some of you, that might be legs long. But for other, it might be more forgiving on the low back to bend the knees and bring the feet flat. So just take a moment here to shift your hair, your body, your clothes, and get as comfortable as you can in this position. And begin to notice how you're breathing this evening. Notice your inhales. Notice your exhales. And if your breath is coming in a bit short or ragged, start to slow it down. And then begin to deepen your breath. Take a slow and a steady inhale through your nose. Fill your lungs and belly with air. And then open up your mouth, sigh all of your air out. Do another like that. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, sigh out. From here, work on finding a rhythm to your breath that you can maintain for the rest of our class. Keep the slow and the steady inhales. Use your exhales to empty out entirely. Soften your muscles, the hinge of your jaw. And scan your body from head to toe. And just take note of any areas that feel tight, tense, or sore. And then be mindful of those areas as we begin to move and practice. One more deep breath in, fill up to the top. Full commitment, exhale, let it go. Now I want you to bend your knees, bring the feet flat if you haven't already, and you're going to walk your feet back until your heels brush up against your middle fingers or as close as you can get. And then on your next inhale, press down into your feet, lift your hips, and sweep your arms up and overhead. Then on your exhale, hips and hands are going to lower down to the mat slowly, like you're moving through mud. Let's do another. Inhale, hips and hands lift up. Arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, hips and hands lower to the mat slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Now take it on your own breath. As soon as the hips reach the mat, the next inhale is going to take you up. On your exhale, you're moving down slowly, using a little control as you go. And it doesn't matter if you look different than me at this point. You're on your own breath. The inhales take you up. The exhales lower you to the floor. And we're going to do one more. That last inhale is going to sweep you open, bring you up. That exhale is going to lower you down slowly. And once your hips and your hands reach the mat, just pause there, keep the knees bent, and then you're going to hug the knees into the chest. It might feel nice to sway side to side here. Maybe even draw some circles on the ceiling with your feet. Let's give a little massage to your low back here with this movement. And then you're going to keep the right knee in, and the left leg's going to go long. Hug the right knee in as you press the left heel forward so you get that engagement to both legs. And it might feel nice to point and flex your right foot, maybe circle your right ankle a few times. And then you're going to guide your knee over to the left for a twist. And you've got that prop there to kind of support the leg if you need it, right? You want to take a moment to stack your hips on top of each other. If you don't need the prop, certainly you don't have to use it. And then arms come out to the side like a T. Think about the right shoulder blade as an anchor. So gently press the right shoulder down to the mat, even if it doesn't touch all the way. It'll give you a sense of grounding in the pose. Gaze starts up at the ceiling where it can stay, or take your gaze away from your legs towards your right thumb. Just choosing what feels best on the neck. Always want to be mindful of your neck in a twist. Okay, take one more inhale. Slowly on the exhale, bring the knee back to center. Give it a little squeeze. And then go ahead, bring that left knee back up. Take that movement again. That's just going to give your low back a nice little massage before we go into the second side. Keep the left knee in. Reach the right leg long. And as the right heel presses forward, left knee hugs in. You'll get engagement to both legs. Might feel nice to point and flex the left foot, circle up the left heel. And then you're going to guide your knee over to the right for a twist. You can use that prop to support your leg, or if you don't need the prop, just scoot it off to the side. Arms out to the side, left shoulder blade is the anchor. Gaze where the neck feels best. One more inhale. Slowly on the exhale. Guide the leg back to center. Give it a little squeeze. Right knee's going to just hug in again. Take those final movements. It's the cheapest, best low back massage you'll ever give yourself. And then you're going to take your hands behind your knees and rock and roll the length of your spine a few times until you get enough momentum to come up into a seat. Now, as you come up into a seat, bring your props with you. Place those to the top corner of the mat because you may or may not need those later. And we're going to find our way to hands and knees for tabletop. So tabletop is a nice neutral spine. Think about stacking your shoulders over your wrist, your hips over your knees. And then on your next inhale, it's cow pose. Belly lowers and gaze goes forward. On your exhale, it's cat. Round your spine. Take your gaze down. Good. Do another like that. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Start to take the movements on your own breath rhythm. Feel free to stay a bit longer in one of the poses, especially if it gives your spine a nice stretch. And you can stay with the cat-cow breaths or take other movements to open up. There's really no right or wrong. Just kind of go where your body wants to go. And if you're find a tight spot as you move, just stay there for a few breaths. Work it out. Good. Slowly come on back to tabletop. We're going to find our first downward facing dog. Curl your toes, send your hips high, press your thighs back. It might feel nice to ease into the first one with a little movement. Go ahead and walk your dog with alternate heel presses or sway your hips from side to side. Really try to relax your neck. Nod your head yes a few times. Shake it no. And just allow the crown of your head to be heavy. Now walk your hands back towards your feet. Keep a nice soft bend to the knees so you can either bring your hands down to the floor or hands can reach up and grab for opposite elbows. You can do this in stillness or you can sway side to side, shifting the weight back and forth between your feet. It's really your call. Slowly come on back to center, hands back to the floor if they're not there already. Keep that bend to your knees. Roll up slowly to standing, one vertebrae at a time. And then we're going to meet at the top of the mat. We'll start to link our breath with movement from here. So on your next inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. On your exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Come back to that tabletop flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Release. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. So we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw a circle with your hands. Exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Shine the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, press into the feet as the arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, draw a straight line to your heart. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, your hands to your heart. All right, so let's just add on from there. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, fold over your legs and release. Plant your palms and step back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, come up high in your toes. Shift forward to plank, the top of a push-up, and pause here. On your exhale, we're coming down to the mat. You can always bring the knees down first. Everything comes to the mat. Tops of the feet are flat. And then inhale, press up to a baby cobra. Lift up your chest, roll your shoulder heads back. And exhale, come down. Press up through hands and knees, find your downward facing dog. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for that exhale, let it go. Inhale, come up high in your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, take tiny little steps to the top of your mat. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And then exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank. Exhale, lower down, knees lifted or lowered. Inhale, cobra pose. Press down into the tops of the feet like a wave lift, lift your chest like a wave and loop your shoulders at the top. Exhale, come down, find downward facing dog through plank or tabletop. Take an inhale as we hold. Stay for that exhale, side out. Inhale, come up high on the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And then exhale, fold forward once more. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, offer your heart, cobra pose. Exhale to downward facing dog. Good, take a nice deep breath here as we hold it. Stay for that exhale, side out. Good, we're gonna come on down to hands and knees. Sit back onto your heels and roll your wrists out a little bit. We're gonna do some weight bearing on our hands. It's always nice to just warm those wrists up. And just take hold of the opposite fingers with your hand, pull down. Switch it up to the other side. Shake it out. And here we go. All right, tabletop to right leg long. Toes are going to stay curled to begin, and you're going to shift back and forth a few times. Now take your leg, cross it over to the left. Toes are still down. Look over your right shoulder. Bring your gaze to your big toe. Then take one more inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to bring the leg back to center and then start to lift the toes up off the floor. From here, either press back through your heel or bend your knee like so. So we're going to take little pulses. If the leg is long, it's just going to be a press to the heel, like you're trying to kick a wall behind you. Or if your knee is bent, you're just going to pulse up and pulse down. Pulse up and pulse down. One more. Pulse it up. Pulse it down. And if the knee is bent, extend the leg again. Reach the left fingertips forward, and we're going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hand and knee comes down. A round of cat-cow. Let that go. Come on back to center. Left leg long, toes stay curled. Shift back and forth. Take your leg, cross it over to the right, toes still down. Look over your right shoulder, bring your gaze to your big toe. Take an inhale. Exhale, come back to center. You'll lift the toes up. Now, if you want to do the pulse with the legs long, you're going to press the heel back like you're trying to kick a wall. Otherwise, you're going to bend the knee, and we're just going to pulse it. 3, 2, 1. Good. If the knee is bent, re-extend the leg. Reach the right fingertips forward. Pull the low belly up and in as we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand and knee comes down. We're going to take a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide, send the hips to the heels. The forehead's going to come down to the floor. If it hovers a bit, use one of your props underneath your forehead. Or you can do what I like to do. Make a little pillow out of your forearms. Rest your forehead down on your pillow. Consider this pose, child's pose, your home base. So what that means is it's available to you the whole time that we're practicing. If you become fatigued or lose your breath, if I call out a posture and it's not working in your body this evening, you can always return to child's pose to reground and to reconnect. Take one more deep breath here. Fill up. Stay for that exhale. Side out. All right, come on back to hands and knees. Find your downward facing dog. Hips go high, thighs press back. Inhale and breathe your right leg high and back. On your exhale, bend your knee and stack your hips. It might feel nice to circle your ankle or maybe put a circle in your knee. If you prefer stillness, let the right heel get heavy to the left side of the mat. You'll feel that top hip just fan open. Resquare your hips, bring your knee into your chest, look forward. Bring your right foot between your thumbs. Back heel's gonna drop. Inhale, the left arm's gonna guide you up to a warrior two. Now, on your exhale, take a moment, adjust your stance. Can you bring your front thigh more parallel to the mat? And then let your tailbone drop. Reach your fingers so far away from you, it feels like your arms could grow another inch. Keep that length, but relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let's add a little pulse. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms touch overhead. Exhale, back into warrior two. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms together at the top. Exhale, bend into your knee, warrior two. Now, you're going to keep the knee bent, but on your next inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead so your palms touch. And then you're going to reach for opposite elbows. Good. On your inhale, press down into your feet as you reach your elbows up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, we're going to take just a little reverse so that the right elbow is pointing up towards the ceiling. The left elbow is pointing down towards the mat. And can you feel a stretch from your right hip crease all the way up to your right elbow? Good. One more inhale. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Straighten the front leg and bring your back heel in a click. Start to move forward slowly here. And when you can't reach anymore, your bottom hand's going to come down. Your top arm's going to twist open. Triangle pose. Now this is where your blocks can help. You can place one of your blocks to the outside of that front foot, just to bring the floor closer to you. You're still engaging your legs, so can you press down firmly into the big toe of your front foot and the heel of your back foot? All right, take one more inhale. And then on the exhale, we're coming back to warrior two. Now inhale as you settle. On your exhale, you're going to sweep your hands down to frame your front foot. And that left heel is going to pop up until you're in a high lunge. Now this is where you might want your blocks. We're going to walk our fingertips or our blocks in front of our right foot. And then lift the left leg up into a grounded warrior three. The toes are going to point down so the hips stay neutral. The crown of the head's going to reach forward. Now, there's a soft microbend to your right knee, and your hands can stay grounded just as you kind of learn this new shape, or hands can come to the heart for an ungrounded warrior three if you're familiar with this shape. Press the left heel back. Reach the crown of the head forward. Take one more deep breath. Slowly on the exhale, left leg is going to come back. You can remove your blocks, plant your hands, and send your right leg to plank. Good. Inhale, shift forward on your toes. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, offer your heart, cobra pose. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale and breathe, left leg high and back. Exhale, bend knees, stack hips. If you want movement, take it. If you prefer stillness, find it. Resquare hips, bring knee into chest, look forward. Left foot between your thumbs, back heel drops. Inhale, the right arm is going to guide you up to a warrior two. Now I'm going to turn and face the camera. You stay where you are. And then exhale, adjust your stance. Good. Tailbone drops. Fingers reach away. Shoulder blades move down your back. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms touch. Exhale, back into your warrior two. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms touch overhead. Exhale, back into your warrior two. Knee stays bent. Inhale, palms are going to reach up overhead, and then opposite hands to opposite elbows. Inhale, press down into your feet as you reach your elbows up. Exhale, pull back so that the left elbow points up to the ceiling and the right elbow is pointing down towards the floor. Can you feel a stretch from your left hip crease up to your left elbow? Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Back heel comes in. Start to reach forward slow. When you can't reach anymore, bottom hand down, top arm twist open. Remember, you can use those props to help you out here. Good. You really want to engage the legs in triangle pose. So you want to press down so firmly into the feet, it feels like you're going to bring your front heel and your back arch together. But your feet aren't going to move because you're on a sticky mat. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Inhale to settle in. Exhale, sweep it down to that lunge. You might want blocks underneath your hands here. As you walk either your fingertips or your props forward, you're going to lift the right leg up into that grounded warrior three. So fingertips or blocks are directly underneath the shoulders here. The hands can stay grounded, or you can move them up to your heart. Press the right heel away, reach the crown of the head forward. Soft micro bend to your left knee. Take one more inhale, and then on the exhale, land it back into that lunge. Release the props to the side, left leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, your back bend. And exhale, find downward facing dog. Okay, take a nice deep breath here as we hold it. Stay for that exhale, side out. Inhale, come up high in the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale to fold. Inhale, your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. All right. So we're going to meet at the top of the mat here for this one. From the top of the mat. On your next inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, hinge and fold at the hips. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, fold and release. Good. Now, you're going to tense your fingertips or bring hands underneath your blocks like so. Blocks underneath your hands like so. Press down into the left foot and then press down into the right foot. Good. Once the feet feel grounded, you'll hover the left foot and slowly step it back. Then the back knee comes down and the back foot's flat. Inhale, come up to a low lunge. And then exhale, elbows go wide as chest lifts. Inhale your hands forward and back, low lunge. Exhale, elbows go wide, chest lifts. Inhale, forward and back. Exhale, goal post arms. Inhale your hands forward and back. And then exhale, bring your hands back down to frame your foot, to blocks or not, doesn't matter. Now, you're going to curl your left toes and lift up to a lunge again. Take an inhale as you look forward. And then on the exhale, you're going to step the left foot up and cross it behind the right. So here you're going to want to take a moment to line up your pinky toes and take a soft micro bend to your right knee. Good. Now fold over your legs here. You can use blocks or fingertips down to the floor. Now bring the palms of your hands together, press your legs in towards each other, and slowly rise up to standing. Nice. Good. Bring your arms up and overhead. Press down into the feet. Take an inhale as you reach your fingertips up. And then on the exhale, lengthen over to the left. Breathe into your right rib cage. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And I think I'm going to move this way so you can see this part a little bit better. So we're here, okay? And then from there, you're going to bring your hands back down to your heart. And you're going to undo the cross of your legs and bring your right knee out like so. Okay? From here, bring your right knee forward and hug it in. Now cross right ankle on top of left knee and pause. So we're just learning how to stand on one leg. Press down firmly into your left foot as you reach the crown of your head forward. You can stay upright and work on balance. If you want to get into your hips a bit more, you'll start to sit down. If you decided to sit, there's always a place where you kind of know your body doesn't want to go any further. It kind of stops. You want to listen to your body, okay? Stop there. Don't strain. And then reach the fingertips forward. We're going to be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come to heart. Lift up. Extend the leg out. Slowly float it down. Very nice. Take a moment, shake out that left leg. We're going to do all that again. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. So you can tense your fingertips or hands to your props. This time you're going to hover the right foot. Send it all the way back until you're in a lunge. And then bring your back knee down for a low lunge. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, elbows go wide, chest lifts. Inhale your hands forward and back. Exhale, goalpost arms. One more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale your hands forward and back. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Now you're going to curl your toes and lift up to a lunge. Take an inhale, look forward. Exhale, step the right foot behind the left. Take a moment here, line up your pinky toes. Soft micro bend to the left knee. Hands can be to blocks, fingertips can come down, but fold over your legs. All right, now bring the palms of your hands together, squeeze your knees in towards each other. Slowly roll up to standing. Good. Inhale your arms up and overhead, palms together. And then exhale, this time lengthen over to the right. Breathe into your left rib cage. Good, come back to center, and I'm going to face you for this next one. So we're here, we're back, hands to heart. All right, now you're going to slowly undo the cross of the legs, and this time the left knee is going to come out and then forward. Hug the knee in, and then cross left ankle on top of right knee. You can stay here, or you can start to sit down into the hips for deeper sensation. If you decide to sit, there's going to be a place in which your body goes, okay, this is where you stop. Listen to the body. Hold that edge for 5, 4, maybe reaching forward, 3, 2, and 1. Good, hands come to heart. Let's come on up. Extend that leg out and bring it on down. Okay, take a moment. Shake out that right leg. Good. From the top of the mat, inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold, release. Plant your palms, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank and pause. Stabilize here. Exhale, hips back. Downward facing dog. Inhale to plank, pause and stabilize. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank, pause. Exhale, lower down to the floor. Good. You can rest your right cheek to the mat and your hands down by your side. And just take a few moments here to come back to your breath. You might feel your heart beating underneath you. So just calm back to that breath. Slow, steady inhales. Full, complete exhales. Bring your forehead to center. Flip your palms down so that they're by your hips, but the palms of the hands press down into the floor. And then on your next inhale, lift your forehead, chin, and chest. On your exhale, lift your hands and your feet. Squeeze shoulder blades in towards each other as you reach your fingers and your toes back. And then exhale, come on down, left cheek to the mat, hands by your side. All you need to do is breathe. Try not to think about where we're going next. Good, come on back to center. Now you're going to interlace your fingers at the small of your back. This is where you can use your strap, necktie, belt, whatever you've got. If the shoulders are tight, you can hang on to the strap with your thumbs out to give you a little bit more mobility. So it'll either be this with the strap or fingertips interlaced. On your next inhale, lift your forehead, chin, and chest. On your exhale, lift your feet and start to move your hands away from your low back. Take one more inhale and exhale, release. Cheek down to the floor, hands rest by your side. Breathe. Forehead comes to center. Feet go wide to the edge of the mat. Arms out to the side like a T. On your next inhale, lift your forehead, chin, and chest. On your exhale, lift your hands and your feet. Fingers reach away. Toes reach back. Chest lifts up. And then exhale, come down. Make a little pillow out of your forearms and rest your forehead there. It also might feel nice to bend the knees and move the feet back and forth like they're windshield wipers. All right, bring the feet down. Forearms are going to go wide to the edge of your mat, like they're goalposts. And then the left cheek is going to come down as the right cheek is going to come down as the left knee bends and rolls slightly off the mat. Now you want to keep the sole of the foot and the shin flat, because what we're doing here, we're using the floor as a prop. And if you don't feel a lot of sensation with the knee bent, go ahead and straighten the leg. That might give you a little bit more sensation. But not every yoga pose is meant to do this big dynamic stretch. Some of them are meant to rest and restore your body. So if you want to keep it more restorative, keep the knee bent. Go ahead and take one more inhale. On the exhale, you're going to straighten the left leg back to meet the right. Now the left cheek comes down. The right knee bends, rolls slightly off the mat. Knee can stay bent or leg can straighten for a deeper sensation. And just feel the rise and the fall of your breath underneath you. When you inhale, your belly rises. When you exhale, your belly lowers. Take one more inhale here. Slowly on the exhale, straighten the right leg back to meet the left. And then bring your hands by your side. We're going to come up to a seated position and give the legs a little shake. Okay. Soles of the feet come together, knees fall open wide. We're going to do a seated cat-cow. Hands can be where they're comfortable, to the shins, maybe to the ankles, maybe laced around your feet. I like to take my peace fingers and circle grip my big toes. So find length in your spine, sitting bones down, crown of the head up, and then on your inhale, it's cow pose. So shift the chest forward, gaze goes up, your throat is open. On your exhale, it's cat. Round your spine and take your gaze down. Good, let's do another like that. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale to cat. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good, now come back to center. We're going to take a fold from here. You can use props if your hips and low back feel tight this evening to bring the floor closer to you again. So you would just kind of wedge your props to the arches of your feet and then on any height, so that when you start to hinge forward at your hips, your forehead has a place to rest. So that would be your option one. Option two, maybe one block is needed. Just behind the heels like so, forehead comes down, same thing. Option three, no props at all. So that with a flat back, starting with that tall spine, you'll start to hinge forward. And then as soon as you get into the fold, to deepen, you can walk your fingertips away from you and let your spine round. And just take a moment to notice where you're holding your stress tonight. Is it the back of your neck? Is it the space between your shoulder blades? Maybe it's your low back or your hips. Wherever you locate that tension, try to soften it right now as we hold the pose. Use the inhales and the exhales to take you deeper. Slow and steady inhales to fill up. Full and complete exhales to sigh it out. Take one more deep breath here. And on the exhale, walk the fingertips back, lift up the chest. Give your legs a little shake. Or windshield wiper the knees back and forth. This is a nice release if you felt tension in your low back or your hips. Good. Now, we're going to come on down to the back from here, okay? I want you to take one of your props with you where you can reach it. And as you come down to the back, take a nice full body stretch. Just reach through the fingertips, reach through the toes, circle out your wrists and circle out your ankles. And then bend your knees, bring your feet flat, lift up your hips and place your block or prop, whatever you've got, to your low back and hips. You want to make sure your sacrum is supported. That's the diamond shape in the middle of your low back. And then you're going to bring your knees in towards your chest and lift your feet up to the ceiling for waterfall. If you feel wobbly, go ahead and hug your prop for support. Otherwise, just let your hands rest where they're comfortable and enjoy that sense of calm it brings when you reverse your blood flow like this. It's a really good posture to do at the very end of class because it gets us ready for our rest pose. Now very slowly float one foot down to the floor. Allow the other foot to follow. Once both feet reach the mat, lift up the hips, scoot up the prop off to the side, and the hips are going to come down slowly. Good. Hug the knees into the chest. One more sway side to side. If your low back a little release. And then let the legs go long. We're going to come into rest pose. So just like at the beginning of class, either legs are going to be long or maybe knees are bent and feet are flat. You want to take a moment to shift hair, body, and clothes. Get as comfortable as you can in this position. And then take a moment to notice how the floor in your mat supports you. The back of your head, the base of your skull gently presses down into the floor. Feel the weight of your shoulders underneath you. Feel the weight of your glute muscles. Feel your heels press down into the floor. You're supported here. Just come back to that natural, spontaneous breath where there's no effort. Let the floor and the mat support you. What can you soften? What can you let go of? Now, if you have more time to devote to rest pose, I recommend another 5 to 10 minutes here. If you're ready to be guided out, wiggle your fingers and your toes and sway your head from side to side. Bring the knees into the chest and roll over to your left or your right side. Just pause there for a breath. Use the strength of your top arm to press up to a seat. And as you come up to seated, bring the palms of your hands together, press your thumbs into your sternum, and feel your heart beat underneath your thumbs. I just want to thank you so much for joining me this evening, and I hope to see you again next week. Take care.